Hey, what's up guys and gals? It's me, your old buddy Mr. Moose, back with another edition of Farming Simulator 2015. And we're back on our dedicated server with the map Graceland, and today I just want to go through and show you a few pieces of equipment and some changes we've made to the farm so you guys know what's here and what you can use it for. The first thing we're going to start off is we've got some new trucks and trailers. I had to pick up this Fliegl transport trailer for the animals because the old Joskins trailer that I normally use will not hold lamb, and I went to go buy some lamb and realized it wouldn't hold them, so I did have to go pick up the Fliegl trailer, which also comes in handy for working on the greenhouses. One of the things that's pretty cool about this, if we jump up in the truck, take the top off of it and use X to lower down the tailgate on it. If you come back up here, you've got a little ramp that comes down, right? It touches all the way to the ground. Well, you can now put vegetables up in here over at the greenhouse. And what I've done is I went ahead and did some tests to make sure that if we put the vegetables in here, they would dump at the spinnery, and they will. So then I purchased a telehandler and stored it over at the greenhouse. So now we have a telehandler over at the greenhouse, and if you just use it, pull right up here to the base of the ramp and then extend your boom out, you can set your vegetables up in here, and then just put your first one right inside here, and then when you come back with your second one, you can put it right here on the end, push it forward just a little bit. That'll push the second one deeper in, and just keep rinsing and repeating that process. You can get 8 in here easily, and even a 9th one will fit back. If you push everything all the way to the front, you can put a 9th one on here. It will almost completely go in, and if you set it up on there and then close the tailgate, they'll kind of shift around, and they will hold, and then you can go out there and do your thing. If you're using this to haul the animals off with, just keep in mind when you're doing that, you have to sometimes you have to take the top off of it to get the animals to go in there, but I think I was able to get most of them in without the top coming off of it. So but anyways, yellow truck, if you guys are on the map, I've got plenty of trucks on the map, so let's try and keep the yellow truck with the animal trailer, and that way if somebody comes over, they don't have to go searching for a truck, and they're not borrowing a truck from the Wilson grain trailers, and that way people who are needing the grain trailers aren't having to go search for trucks. So again, there's a method to my madness on this. So if we keep this truck with this trailer, then anybody coming to use this trailer will always have a truck on it. The same thing, I've got some different trucks on the Wilson grain trailers, and that way you'll just always have a truck on your trailer. So try to help me out with that. All right, so we're going to come back over here. We've also gone in and gotten some new equipment to handle manure and slurry, because we're to the point now where we're just getting tons of both, and we need to get everything in a centralized location. So if you come on and you're looking for something to do that's not necessarily harvesting or plowing or something like that, you can grab one of these trucks over here and you can go and take care of slurry. Now what we've done is we've started to move all the slurry over to the slurry pit here, and to do that you're going to need to use this trailer here, the universal coat trailer, or the coat universal. If you use the other one, which is over here on the other side, which is the Garant or Garant, if you use it, you won't be able to tip the slurry into the pit, and that's the deal is you have to have a tippable trailer to put the slurry in here. It's got a little door right here that you come up and use your animated triggers to raise or lower, and if you go ahead and raise that up, you come back out here, you've got a little thing that you can tip the slurry into. So go over to the livestock houses, fill this thing up with slurry, and bring it over here. Now if there's a couple of you, a little trick that we learned today, Short Circuit and Shack Attack were on, and one of the little tricks they learned is they wanted to do it in tandem, and in order to speed the process up, one of them drove this truck and trailer and went and got slurry, and the other one drove the other one, and as long as this truck came in and triggered and was dumping here, the other one, which has the overloading feature, could pull up next to it, go into overloading mode, and just continuously fill this one up. So this one was constantly pouring slurry into the pit, and this one was just transferring its slurry from that truck into this truck. So that's a little tip. If you and a buddy are on here and y'all want to transfer slurry together, you can do that. Now, again, different color trucks here, the black, green, and white John Deere looking trucks. They are on the slurry tanks because the slurry tanks are green. And so that will work for you. Now, if you're using the field side container for slurry, which we did go ahead and add a field side container in, you have to use this trailer here. The other one will not, I don't believe the other one will overload into the field side container. I believe I've had issues with that before. So make sure you get the Garant and use it to do the field side container. You guys might check. It's been a while since I've done the field side container thing. This one might work for it, but it seems like I had problems in the past. Maybe it was the other one would only load on trigger points automatically and this one wouldn't. I forget, but for some reason I haven't been using this for slurry. So but I've got them both, so you'll have them both to use. But again, the black, green, and yellow trucks, those are designated for the slurry, and it's the same thing. If you leave those hooked to those trailers, then when people come behind you, they don't have to be searching for a truck and trailer somewhere else like that. And again, I've put plenty of trucks on the map. That way you've got plenty of equipment to choose from. All right, and we're going to leave those there. Again, I'm trying to spread some of the equipment out so we're not always, not everything is at the farm and causing lag. So we'll come back around here. One more piece of equipment that we had to get was a manure trailer, because you can't use the stock trailers to haul manure. So I think it was Hemi has played this map a little bit, and he was playing version 3. He said on version 3 you could use any trailer, but when they went to version 4 you had to have a different one. So we've picked up this Dottie dumper, and this is what we are using to haul manure with. You can actually grab manure in it. So we're keeping it right here next to the manure storage area. And again, if you want to help us out when you're on the server and you want to do something different, you can always take this, run around all the livestock areas, grab up the manure, and then transfer it over here and dump it. And that way all of our manure is in one central location, and that way everybody can just drive over here, look at it, and say, okay, well, how much manure do we have? Because I'm getting ready to do a field and I want to have plenty of manure to do it. You can come over here and you'll see that we have right now 283,000 in this manure. I don't think it's all been collected, but yeah, we have 280 something thousand manure. And I'm sure we have more than that if we go drive around all the facilities. Now, if you guys want to help make manure, you can always use the composter over here and start making manure, and then just transfer it into this pen as well. The composter, you pretty much, I think you can put pretty much anything like wood chips, hay, things like that in there, and it will turn it into manure. I believe that's what I read for this thing. The Wilson grain trailers are over here. We changed out the grain trailers for the new ones that got released this week. The reason we changed these out is if you drove the old grain trailers, they really had a tendency to fishtail and get ahead of the truck. So we changed over to these. These were just released by LBJ, and so we've got these. I think these are called Wilson pace setters. But now the only downside to them is they won't haul chaff. Whereas the other ones that we had, we could haul chaff with them, but again, these are much more stable, much more easy to drive. I asked everybody after we put them on and realized if they wouldn't do chaff, if they wanted to go back to the other ones, and everybody clearly said no, they wanted to keep these. They're a little bit smaller, but again, they're much more stable and they work pretty good. On these, we've got the red trailers with the black, or red trucks with the black stripe on them, and so again, a couple more trucks hooked up here. Again, you shouldn't have to go looking around to find a truck for the trailer that you're using. So that little change has been made as well on the farm. And then we'll get over here and I'll show you the last little piece of equipment that we have we've added in. Now, you guys, we've started using slurry in the field. The one thing about it is these are pretty big fields, right? Or not slurry, but manure. We've got the slurry sprayers, but we've also got manure and manure spreaders. But the one thing is, they run out pretty quick. These are pretty big fields, and about a pass and a half you run out of manure. So when I was looking for the trailers, I went ahead and decided we'd pick up this bad boy and bring it onto the farm to help out a little bit. So as you're working on some of the outlying fields, you don't have to come running back over here to fill up with manure every time. Instead, you can use this thing. This is the Fliegl Overloading Station. Many of you have seen it. It's been around for a while. I never really could figure out a use in single player for it, but in multiplayer, it makes perfect sense for what we're about to do. So if I take the tractor and I go ahead and start up my tractor, you do have to have a tractor attached to this because it is PTO driven. But I hit X on my keyboard and it will unfold. And it has a really cool little unfolding animation that I just completely missed. So let's fold it back up real quick. Alright, so anyways, you're going to hit your X button and that's going to unfold it for you. And it's ready to go. You just have to turn it on, and to do that you use the B button on your keyboard. Now in my help menu you'll see that it says like button 6, button 1. Button 6 is on my joystick, and that is the same thing as B, and button 1 is the same thing as X on your keyboard. Now the one thing it doesn't tell you up here in the help menu is if you don't hit and turn it into overload mode, it won't actually put the manure out, and I'm going to demonstrate that to you right now. I've got it powered on, and you would think, according to the directions that you see in the help menu, it should be ready to rock and roll, right? It's not, though. If I come over here with a load of manure, and the way this works is you just back your trailer up into here and dump whatever you want to overload into it, and then you can pull whatever device or whatever other trailer you want to use. You can pull that underneath it and it will transfer into it. So what this will be great for is you can set this on the side of whatever field that people are getting ready to spread manure into. Somebody can grab a truck like this and just keep shuttling manure out to it. You back into it like so, unload once you get on the tipper part of it, and you see the little tip icon down there in the bottom, and it's going to transfer the manure from this trailer into the overloading station. And once it's in the overloading station, then somebody who is driving like a manure spreader like this can get in, they can drive underneath it, and then they can fill up with the manure that somebody just transferred over to the field. So if I were in this and I drove up underneath it, I should be able to drive underneath here, get to this point, it should trigger and throw manure into it. Now it didn't. The reason it didn't, and this is the reason I showed you this particular way, the overloader has to be put into overloader mode, but it doesn't show up in your help menu. Wrong tractor. Come over to the other tractor, and I go into the 7810. In here, it looks like I've done everything right. I folded out the overloader station, I turned it on, but it's not overloading the manure out. Well, what you have to do is, not only do you have to turn it on, but you got to get rid of where it says fold overloader station, and you do that by hitting O on your keyboard. And if you watch, as soon as I hit O, it's going to start pumping manure out. There it goes. So, and you'll also notice when I hit O, fold overloader station up in the upper left hand corner, that disappears. So that will let you know that you've in fact turned it on and it is in overloader mode. So just a little FYI I wanted to show you guys, because when I first got it out and tested it to make sure everything was going to work, I never could get it to go into overloader mode, and I had to sit there for a little while and say, well, wait a minute, I've had some overloaders before, like slurry containers, that you actually had to hit O on it to enable the overloader function. Like the Eager Beaver trailers, if you put seed or fertilizer on those, you have to actually hit O for it to actually be able to pump the seed out. So it's the same way with this device. So anyways, but yeah, this will be a great little addition. Let's say you're working way up on the other end of the fields, and three of you guys are spraying manure, and you need to, you don't want to be driving all the way back here to the farm. Set this up on the side, get somebody in this tipper and hauling the manure back and forth to the field while you guys spread, and he can dump it in here. Then you guys can just come over, fill up, and keep on spraying, and it's not as big of a run to do that. So if we need to get more manure trailers, I will. This one holds 40,000 liters. I had one I thought was going to work that was 100,000 liters, but it ended up not working in the game. So but if I need to get a second one of these, we'll get a second one and go that route. So but anyways, those are a couple of new additions that we've made to the farm as well. And then there's a whole bunch of forestry equipment that I've added to the farm because we did do forestry on Friday night. Most of you guys might have seen that. If I go up and take out the map, over here around field 45, 46, there is a gas pump there. That is where I've got all of the forestry equipment currently stored, and that's pretty much where it's going to stay. We're only going to do forestry periodically, but if you get on the map and you happen to see that there's some equipment over here and you're wondering what it is over here, it's just the forestry equipment that we used. And I'll go ahead and show you what we did. So let me get out of the equipment here, jump over. What we basically did is we came out here and cut all the trees down in fields 43, 44, 45, and 46, so that now we have some nice big grass fields. So for you guys who love to mow grass, you can come over here. Again, we're back over here, 43, 44, 45, 46. Eventually we'll clear out 41, 42, 47 and 48, and we'll just have all this as designated grass area, and you guys can come back here and just start at one end and go all the way to the other and mow grass and windrow and all that other stuff. Eventually I'll move all the mowing equipment over here, but I've got the trucks and trailers for the forestry equipment all stored out here. And again, here are the forestry trailers. The green trucks go with the forestry trailers. Then we've got the couple of the log skidders we were using, a couple of buffaloes we were using, and then the AHWI, which is the stump grinder that we're using. If you're on in the next couple of days, you want to come on here and just run through the fields and make sure we got all the stumps ground down, that would be great. I think a couple of guys may do that as well, but if you want to give it one quick overview before we move all the grass mowing equipment out here, that would be great. Eventually, I plan on going ahead and purchasing 13, 14, 15, 16, 21 and 22. So basically that whole interior core that is brown will become all arable fields. We'll be planting those with our cereals and getting all that in, and then we'll just use this outer ring for the grass mowing to generate the grass that we need for all of our livestock. So I will end up moving all the mowing equipment back out here, and then that way you'll have the windrower and the mowers and everything all in one place, and it'll be easy for you to find them, and you just come out here and mow grass to your heart's content. So but yeah, those are some changes that have been made to the farm. And again, unless we're doing forestry, let's just leave all the forestry equipment back over here. There's really no need for anybody to have them out and do anything with them, because there is no way to cut a tree at this point. So what I did was we used a chainsaw the other day, and just to keep from there being anybody getting on here and just cutting all the trees down and everything, we just sold the chainsaw at the end. So interesting, that thing just floats in the middle of the air right there. But yeah, you should have everything you need out here to do the grass mowing and take care of that. So those are the little things that we have done to the farm, little changes that we have made. And like it said, I bought a telehandler. It is over at the it's over at the greenhouses, and so if you guys want to go get it. The only other thing that I've purchased, well, I talked a little bit about I purchased a couple of John Deere 9600 Selects, so they are on the map as well. So we've got those stored over here. And just one little thing I want to point out, because we've had some issues with it. People keep parking tractors up on this thing. We had one today fall through the gap in the center of it and had to spend time getting it off of there because I wasn't online to fix the problem, and people were getting a little frustrated about it. So please refrain from parking tractors up here. We don't use that area. And this is the way we want the equipment parked. And the reason is it just makes it easier for people to get things in and out. Keep the Krone harvester here. keep the 9600s right here, the 8300s here, you know, the 6810s, the 7200s over in this area, and then we'll have the 9560s over here. If you guys do that, it'll just help keep everything a little bit organized. Everybody should be able to get in and out. If you take a front weight off of a tractor, please put it back on when you're done with the tractor. I did for the 96 selects. I do have the duals sitting over here on this side. I would ask that if you do use the duals when you're out in the field, before you park it back, go ahead and drop the duals back over here. One of the reasons is this entrance is sort of narrow and it becomes kind of difficult to get in and out of here. You got to hit it just right. It's also kind of difficult getting out of here with them on. So just help out everybody else by dumping your wheels over here. But they are here. So if you want to use the duals, you just have to pull over here. Pull up next to one of the racks, hit M on your keyboard. It will throw the duals on there. You can go do your thing. And when you come back to park the vehicle, just pull back over here, hit M again. It'll dump the duals off of there, and you'll be good to go. Let's see. Like I said, I got the telehandler for the field. So there's really not a need for any of the implements over here for the front end loader on the 6810s, but I am going to leave those over here just in case you need it. There's some pallet forks over here now for the wheel loader in case you need that. And then there's some pallet forks up there on the roof. We just decided to leave them there. I don't know how they got up there, but we're just going to leave them there because it's funny and it's, you know, it's sort of like our mascot now, the pallet forks on a roof. So anyways, the only other thing I would say is I'm going to move the Fliegl overloading station. I'm going to put it over here in this corner right here of this shed. This is also where we've got the field side container. So we'll just have the field side container for the slurry and the field side container to do the manure with right next to each other. We'll put those right there. We've sort of got the fertilizer double stacked in here right now. We may move, I may move one of these forage wagons out and that'll free up a little bit of space. But again, if we're doing slurry and manure, we really don't need the fertilizing stuff right now. We've got plenty of slurry and plenty of manure. Now, if we go through it, we'll have to jump back to fertilizer. But we're running 500 head of cattle now, 1,600 chickens, and the numbers are going to keep on growing. We're obviously not hurting for money, right? We're sitting at $14 million now. I'm going to go ahead and purchase another 500 head of beef or of dairy cows and put those on. That means we're going to have an enormous amount of milk, but we'll also have an enormous amount of manure as well coming in from that. So we should be able to keep up with the slurry and the manure with the amount of livestock that we have going. But even so, if we start running the compost machine as well, we could probably up the amount of manure that we have on the farm even more so. I've already covered the seeders that we purchased to fix the problem to get us back onto here. The only other piece of equipment that we purchased that we really haven't talked about is we did go ahead and get the Burgman trailer over here. Some of the folks have been wanting to have a trailer they could pull behind the crone for harvesting. So we went ahead and got this one for them. I might even go get the stock in-game overloader. The auger wagon, the stock in-game auger wagon, I might get it and throw it over here too, because I think you could probably, if you're down to only a couple of people and y'all want to do some chaff work on the farm, you might be able to put that stock overloader on the back of the crone, drive around the field, blow the chaff into the overloader, and then the overloader blow it into the trailer. I know a lot of people have said, well, why don't you just put the crone field bunker that you can trail behind the crone. The reason why is that thing is loaded with errors, and I don't want to put it on the server just packed with error and cause potential problems. So that's the reason that it is not on. That the bunker that comes with the Crone 1100 Beast Pack, it's just got, if you've used it in single player, you know it bounces up and down. if you look in the error in the log, it's loaded full of errors, and that's the reason I haven't put it on, is just simply because of that. So the other thing is, let's just leave the easy flow out here outside the building. When we start putting attachments inside the building, it just takes up more space and it makes maneuverability a little bit more of an issue inside the building. So that's the reason I've got it out here. You can leave the corn head out here if you want to. We did have an issue with the server the other night, kind of freaking out when somebody tried to take the header off of the crone, and I don't know if it was the manual connection mod or if it was just something with the Chrome Big X and the server the other night. But just to be on the safe side, I went ahead and took the manual connection mod out. It didn't seem like that many people were using the manual attach mod, and if it was causing an issue, I'd rather err on the safe side than have the server crashing all the time. So I did go ahead and take that out. So I think that's about it. Quite a bit. You guys are doing awesome, loving it, having a great time playing with all you guys. If you are going to play on the dedicated server, please do jump on Discord and hang out with us. I will do a video this week on Discord on how to install the overlay into Discord, into Farm Sim. If you look over on my screen, right where the O is on the dotty dumper, you'll see the word Discord, and there's a couple little icons kind of grayed out where I'm sitting in a channel with Dan right now. It has a neat little overlay that allows you to do that. I figured out how to do it. I will do a little tutorial video for you guys and show you guys how to implement that into your game as well. So anyways, that's going to do it for today's little update. I will give you some more information tomorrow. Until then, stay safe. Have a great day. And by the way, thank you guys. I can't thank you enough. We hit 15,000 subscribers. You guys are the world to me, and I appreciate it. And I hope to play with you on the dedicated server. That's the reason it's here for you guys, is to say thank you for your support and for helping me get to 15,000 subs. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. I cannot say thank you enough. And we'll make our way up to 20,000, and we'll do something a little more special for 20,000. So thanks again for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, I hope you consider giving it a like, maybe even sharing it with your friends. It does help me out a tremendous amount and is greatly appreciated. Also, leave some comments down below. That's really the only way I can gauge if you guys are enjoying what's being put out. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you want daily notifications. I try to do a new video each and every day. Also, if you want to stay in touch with me and find out what's going on, our social links are down in the bottom left-hand corner. Twitter is where I usually announce schedule changes, live streams, and new video releases. Facebook's a great way to get in touch with me if you have any questions to ask. And of course, I am trying to get to 1,000 followers on Google+, which I know I'll probably be old and gray before that happens. But if you can jump over there and follow me, it would be super awesome. So if you like today's video, there's a whole lot more content on the channel. I hope you'll browse through it, find something to keep yourself entertained until the next video or live stream. Speaking of live streams, I try to do them nightly around 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Until the next time, thanks again for watching. See you soon.